Sherwin-Williams.
Of Commerce weather, a few clouds overhead. Big difference today. It's 75 degrees and the winds are out of the southwest. That means the winds are blowing out today. If they were blowing in yesterday and the teams combined for 26 runs, only the good Lord knows what we're going to see today in Game 4 between the Braves and the defending world champion Chicago Cubs, who've won their last 6 games, partner. They've opened up now a 4.5 game lead over Milwaukee in the Central. Braves trying to avoid a 4-game sweep at the hands of the Cubs on their home turf. And what a bag of emotions is on hand for Max Fried. I'm sure he's about to take the mound for the first time as a major league starting pitcher.
Cubs have a lot of things going on right now. They've also won 9 straight games at home. That's the longest streak at home since late last year when they were on a terrific finish to their season. They're 9-0, averaging over 7 runs a game, tons of extra base hits, and you can see that they have doubled up on their opponents here at Wrigley Field with this good play. They are 40-28 overall at home. Oddly, they've won the last 2 days, which were day games, to put them over 500 in day games. And you know they play a lot of day games here, but they're now just 31-30 in day games overall. Today they've got a left-hander going. Mike Montgomery, 28 years old, 6'5", 215, out of Santa Clarita, California. His last 3 starts, filling in for John Lester, have been pretty decent. 3-0 with an 0.95 ERA. That's 19 innings, only 2 runs allowed, 2 walks, and 13 strikeouts. He throws in the low 90s, has an excellent curveball, uses a cutter on occasion, and a changeup. He beat the Braves back on July 19th at SunTrust Park. Went 6 innings, 6 2/3 innings, and oh, by the way, also hit a homer.
Mike Montgomery will be a man forever remembered in Cubs lore. He got the final out of the 2016 World Series against the Cleveland Indians. So here's the lineup he will face for Brian Snitker. As Joe mentioned a moment ago, with a win today, the Braves could come home with a 3-4 trip. And there's nothing wrong with the way the Braves are swinging the bats. One concern we will follow is the health of Freddie Freeman. He hits 3rd on the Toyota starting 9. You heard his comments with Kelsey a few minutes ago. He feels like the left wrist, it's like swinging a wet newspaper, he said. No strength at all for Freeman in the left wrist at this point. Ender
Inciarte also back in the lineup today. He's sore. You know, he banged that ball off his foot. I asked him on the bus coming to the park today how he was feeling, and he kind of rolled his eyes, but he said it's okay, as you would expect him to say, but it is sore. We'll keep an eye on that too. It's his right foot. This time of year, if you're 100%, you hadn't been playing hard enough.
Right. But everybody gets excited for a day game at Wrigley Field, especially when you have a chance to snap their streak and snap your own. We'll see what happens with Montgomery and Fried here in Game 4. Ender Inciarte will lead off. He is having a great road trip. He's hit safely in all 6 games on the trip. 13 hits in those 6 games. And his average at a lofty .309 for the year. So Montgomery ready, and here it is. And the first one is fouled straight back. There's Bryant in on the grass at third in case Ender thinks about a bunt. He did, and sure enough, he fouls it off the foot again.
No way. Not on a bunt.
So what are the odds of that?
Got his back foot.
No balls, 2 strikes. And upstairs for the Braves leadoff man. Wind is blowing straight out. This is the ultimate hit it high and watch it fly kind of day. See if the Braves can elevate Montgomery, who's given up 9 homers though in 109 innings. Not to be. Ender strikes out on a wicked slider. 1 up, 1 down.
That was a case where Ender's heart was in it, but his feet weren't.
I think it's safe to say Ozzie Albies has made quite an impression on the Cubs and their fans here in Chicago. Look at his numbers in the series. 5 for 10. He's hitting .287. He scored a couple of runs. He's knocked in a couple of runs. Like any major league manager worth his salt, Joe Madden likes good young players. So does Brian Snitker. Ozzie's made an excellent impression. They can hold his swing. C.B. Buckner rings him up at first. It's 0-2.
At-bats right-handed, 7 for 20. Both of his homers.
That one's dumped down the right field line. That's going to drop in for a base hit. So Ozzie with his 6th hit of the series. He's aboard with 1 out in front of Freddie Freeman.
Big breaking ball. Good look at it. Big looper that stayed right in the middle of the plate. And an 0-2 knock. I don't like it.
So here's Freddie, 2 for 12 in the series, a long homer, one of those hits. And as Freddie has said, the issue for him has really been against left-handed pitching as Rivera takes a shot on a foul ball. And the numbers really bear that out. Since the All-Star break, Freddie Freeman, who normally hits left-handers exceptionally well, hitting a .175 against them. Use his quote again, it's like swinging a wet newspaper up there, is the way he described it.
I wouldn't want my opponents to know that. For him to come out and acknowledge that today or yesterday, I don't know, lets them know that he's less than 100% and they can maybe take advantage of him, pitch him a different way.
No balls and a strike. And the other question is, wouldn't a day off or 2 help Freddie? I know he wants to play.
Well, he told Kelsey in that interview 100% he'd be in there every day. Why? What's the point?
No balls and a strike. The Braves have a capable guy who could fill in for Freddie and Matt Adams if Brian Snitker decided to give him a day off.
There's that old adage of 80% of Freddie's better than 100% of a lot of people, but Matt Adams is not one of those a lot of people.
So we'll see how it plays out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ground ball, right side. That'll sneak through for a hit. Albies around second. He's going to fly to third. The throw not cut off. And Atlanta's got him at the corners with 1 out. So Montgomery immediately in trouble. 1st and 3rd for Matt Kemp.
Missed his target. We've seen a lot of that in the last day in 1 inning. Pitchers missing their target and getting it ripped. And for Braves fans, got to enjoy watching that guy's helmet fly off the way he runs the bases, don't you?
I do. So a chance for the Braves to give Max Fried an early run. Let's see if Matt Kemp can provide it. That went back-to-back with Freddie Freeman yesterday on home-run balls. That came in the 3rd inning against John Lester, who didn't pitch very well, but pitched well enough to go 5 innings and get the win.
Braves had opportunities the last 2 days, now 3 days, to get that first run across. Runner at second, nobody out. 2 days ago, 3 straight strikeouts into the inning. Yesterday, got the bases loaded ultimately and left them loaded when Lester was able to pitch out of that.
So a big sequence early in the game for the Braves bats. And Kemp, 1st and 3rd. The pitch is lifted into right field. Jason Hayward is there. This might be fun. He makes the catch flat-footed. The throw is going to come back toward first, not cut off, and it's a sacrifice fly for Kemp. So Albies scores the first run of the day. It's 1-0 Atlanta. 55 RBIs for Matt Kemp.
You can almost have Ozzie Albies tag up on a fly ball to deep short. When he slides a long way. Good start to the day.
There we go. Kemp drives in Albies. Freeman still at first with 2 outs, and Nick Markakis the batter. Nick has 18 hits in his last 14 games. 4 of those hits have come here at Wrigley. And that's downstairs. One ball, no strikes. Braves have their first lead in this series. The Cubs so far have outscored them 39-21 for the season. They've won the first 6 games overall. Braves are trying to avoid going 0-7 against Chicago this year. Two balls, no strikes from Montgomery. And Markakis smokes one to first. Rizzo right there, though. And that retires the side. 1 run, 2 hits. A sac fly by Kemp gives Max Fried a lead as he goes to the mound as a starter for the first time next. Chicago 1-0 thanks to a Matt Kemp sacrifice fly. And now Max Fried goes to work.
For Max Fried, he's a guy who has always been a good player. Mark Gubiza of the Angels broadcast team told me that he competed against Mark's son at all levels and that Max Fried was the best player at every level. Time for him to show that he can do that here. His 4 keys to pitching success: breathe and enjoy the moment. He's worked hard to get here. He's undergone Tommy John surgery. He's weathered that. Now time to enjoy it a little bit at Wrigley Field.
Against the world champion Cubs, here's Ben Zobrist to lead off for them. First one misses down and away, 1 ball, no strikes.
You heard him tell Kelsey before the game that he's been to some games here before as a fan. So to be pitching at Wrigley Field against the defending world champions, this is someday.
There's his first strike to Ben Zobrist, hitting .228 for the year. Zobrist being pressed into everyday duty because Addison Russell is hurt for Chicago. The pitch is right back where it came from, and Fried makes the play. A little off target with his throw to first, but Freddie Freeman bails him out, and there's the first out. Albert Almora Jr. bats second on the Cubs Toyota starting 9. Cubs in the month of August have been averaging almost 7 runs per game as a group. They are very flexible, they are interchangeable, and right now they're all red hot. Almora makes the start in center, hitting .290 for the year, and takes ball 1.
Pitch right there, and you get a call.
A little too low.
Good place to miss, though. Keep it down.
Fried now 3 balls, no strikes. Right there at 90 miles an hour. Chris Bryant's next. Rizzo working as the cleanup man for the Cubs. Now the 3-1 pitch is chopped back to the mound again. Fried's got that. Perfect throw this time. And a nice comeback to get Almora.
Okay. Just 25 more of those.
And here's Chris Bryant. Well, you hate to mention this, but by and large, I think you and I were talking before the game, the Braves have done an excellent job on Chris Bryant in this series so far.
He had a home run opening night of this series, but really other than that, 2 for 12.
Line and caught. A missile hit right at Dansby Swanson, who is placed perfectly in the shift. And Max Fried gets Chris Bryant to line out. And that ends the first inning. 1-0 Atlanta after a great play by Dansby Swanson keeps the Cubs at bay. by Dansby Swanson to rob Chris Bryant.
Boy, watch him get up here. Perfectly timed. What I liked the best about all of this was how Max Fried was waiting for him at the dugout. Appreciating the good defense.
Fried needed 10 pitches to get out of the first inning. That's an encouraging sign. Speaking of encouraging, the work by Dansby Swanson. He's got 8 hits on the road trip. That's pushed his average up to 235 for the year. And 3 hits yesterday, 2 of them infield safeties against the Cubs staff. Roller toward third. Bryant's got it. And a strong throw to first gets Dansby to start the second inning.
He had 3 hits yesterday, including a double, but the hit that I appreciated the most was the one in the 9th inning. It's 14-9 Cubs. And he hit a routine ground ball to second that Sobers backed up on it a little bit, but played it like a real easy routine out, and Dansby beat it out. That was major league stuff.
Leo Ruiz with 3 hits in the series, including a home run. He takes the strike. As you said in our opening comments, the exciting thing in a 14-12 loss yesterday was the terrific work by Ruiz, Albies, Dansby Swanson offensively. You expect it from the veteran hitters, but when the young guys swing the bats the way they did yesterday, it's fun to watch.
Sure is. It's an important sign.
In the air toward left center. Battling the sun is Almora. Look at that ball carry out toward the ivy and the bullpen gate. Hit it high, watch it fly, especially at that 368 mark. It carries no matter the way the wind blows here. But that's the second out. I'm going to bring up David Freitas, who's the subject of our AARP Getting to Know You feature.
Minor league career 272 hitter. He was hitting 263 at Gwinnett with 3 homers, 21 RBIs. Had an RBI double in Philadelphia.
Game 2 of that doubleheader, also scored a run in the 4th inning of that game. 5-2 Braves victory. He's behind here, no balls and a strike. 2 up, 2 down in the inning. And up and away. CB says no. 2 balls and a strike. Max Fried will hit next. Hopefully after Freitas can reach. The pitch is bounced toward third. Bryant's got it. Crow hops and fires. And Montgomery has a 1-2-3 second inning. Anthony Rizzo leads off for the Cubs. 1-0 Braves in game 4. On South, brought to you by Ford. Catch the rambling wreck of Georgia Tech as they take on the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State. The action kicks off next Saturday at 12:30 Eastern on Fox Sports South and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. A lot of Braves fans made the trek to Chicago this weekend. Well, there'll be a lot of Atlanta fans in town next weekend too. Falcons and Bears, and of course the Bulldogs and Notre Dame over in South Bend. And a Notre Dame man will be singing the 7th inning stretch today. Mike Bray, the head basketball coach for the Fighting Irish, has the duties today. Hopefully, Braves will have a big lead before he starts to warble. Here's Anthony Rizzo. Baez and Happ to follow. Next Fried, 10 pitches in the opening inning. Now faces a 31 homer, 100 RBI man for the Cubs. Inside, ball 1.
Big day for Rizzo yesterday, reaching the 100 RBI mark on a bases loaded triple. 2 for 5 on the day.
Right there for a strike. 30 homers, 30 doubles, 100 RBIs. One of 4 Cubs in the history of their team to do that 3 or more times in his career.
And he was red hot coming into the series.
Just missed. Presented an offer, 2 balls and a strike. Good breaking ball. Rizzo couldn't pull the trigger.
He's got a good hook and he threw it in a good place. Got him to flinch a little bit.
Shift on for Rizzo, and the delivery. He is caught on and missed. Rizzo off stride, didn't get it, and Fried has the strikeout. 4 up, 4 down for him.
Shook off a couple of signs from Freitas to get to what he wanted, which was a breaking ball inside. There wasn't a strike. He likes the ball in, he likes the ball down and in, but he couldn't get that.
Here's Javier Baez. He's not afraid to swing the bat, as we've seen. He's also hit 21 homers. Takes up and away, ball 1. Right there, a strike.
If you're 2-11 with a 5.92 ERA in the big leagues and you go in asking for a raise the next year, you're probably going to have a hard time. But in the minor leagues, there are a lot of extenuating factors. And from a scouting standpoint, from an organizational standpoint, you see what the stuff is. The results might not be there, but you don't worry quite as much about results. All I've heard and been told about Max Fried was he's got good quote-unquote stuff and he's got great makeup.
Had some trouble with blisters on his left index and middle fingers, which cost him some time this year for the Cubs, or for the Braves, I should say, in the minor leagues. And he said, had he to do that over again, he would have shut it down and taken care of the problem earlier, as opposed to being, as he called it, hard-headed and try to pitch through it. But since he's taken care of that problem, he's pitched to a 1.59 ERA in his last 22 2/3 innings, starting at AA, then at AAA, and now here at the big league level. So far, he hasn't given the Cubs anything until Baez earns a 1-out walk, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, the Braves pitchers know that. They know that you just need to be in the neighborhood. That one wasn't.
So here's Ian Happ. You know, you think about Hayward, you think about Rizzo and Bryant and Zobrist, and then the offense, the pitchers they have in Arrieta and company. This guy, I think, is a secret weapon for Chicago with 20 homers. He represent an impressive series. Homers, 52 RBIs for Happ, who can play all 3 outfield spots and switch hits.
And like Baez, strikes out a ton and swings hard.
No balls and a strike. They've got him picked off with a good throw. And they got him. Head first slide by Baez into the second base bag. A collision with Ozzie Albies, and Baez not up yet. He raised his hand. I wasn't sure if that was because he was hurt or because he wanted a review of the play, but a head first slide and Baez picked off. They cannot lose him with Addison Russell shelved for 3 more weeks.
He may have slid right into Ozzie Albies' knees because Ozzie went backwards. Watch Freddie come out there to take that throw, give him a good line to an angle to throw to Ozzie. And he got it right in the nose. Right into his knee.
He's still down.
Cubs might look at this to see if he got in there safely.
And it looks like they're going to do just that. It didn't look like a very happy Cubs manager as he discussed this play.
Kind of split the glove. I don't know if the glove hit the hand, his left hand, on the way by or not. Right there. May have grazed his hand.
Thing for the Braves is the call on the field was out, so there has to be enough evidence to clearly and convincingly change the call by Field and Culbreth at second base. Fans think he's in. We're about to find out. It's one of those not enough evidence plays. So Baez picked off for the second out of the inning. And Max Fried will go back to work with a strike to Ian Happ.
So much weight is applied to what the original call is. I'm not so sure he wasn't safe, but the original call was out. And they're trying to find a reason to call him safe and couldn't find one.
So that worked out well for Max Fried, as the 1 pitch is around the plate. So the Cubs challenge the call at second and lose. They're down a run with 2 outs. The pitch. Swing and a drive. Deep left center field. No doubt about this one. A long home run for Ian Happ. Catch.
Fastball down the middle. He didn't get the call on the curveball earlier, or the pitch before. It looked like a strike. Came back with a fastball, and it got cracked. For Happ, his 4th homer right-handed against 17 left-handed.
And that's a game-tying home run. The Baez play bigger and bigger now as Jason Hayward hits in a 1-1 game. A swinging bunt. Fried gloves and guns to first and gets Jason Hayward. A strikeout, a walk, and a long home run for Ian Happ. After Hayward rolls out, the Braves will come to the plate, tied 1 apiece.
Your local Toyota dealer. Let's go places. And SunTrust.
Well, let's see if Atlanta can hang an L on the Cubs at least once this year. Beautiful day at Wrigley, wind blowing out, tied up at 1 apiece thanks to Ian Happ's long homer into the bleachers in left center. Now the Braves will go back to work in the 3rd with Max Fried going to work first. Fried, Inciarte, and Albies against Mike Montgomery. Right there, a strike. Max Fried, a product of the prestigious Harvard Westlake School in Los Angeles, a school that's produced 5, make it 6 major league players. 1-2 pitch is grounded towards second. Easy play for Zobrist. We'll tell you who those players are when Max comes up again, as he's retired to start the top of the 3rd inning. 6 up, 6 down for Montgomery now. And we go back to the top of the order. Ender struck out his first time up. He enters action today with 175 hits, which is a career mark. Cubs are going to check on Javi Baez again. He's walking around, wandering around.
He's seeing,
stars maybe.
Yeah, he's trying to indicate best he can that everything's kind of shaky. Can't focus.
So Baez is going to have to come out of the game. And as we told you, this presents an interesting dilemma for the Cubs. Without Addison Russell, who's had a plantar fasciitis problem, Joe Maddon's got to tinker with his infield alignment. Let's see what happens. They've got Tommy La Stella, the former Brave. Chris Bryant could play shortstop. So let's see how Chicago plays it here. It's not going to be La Stella.
Well, they just called up Freeman.
It's Mike Freeman who's going to come on and play shortstop for Chicago. So we might be setting a major league record for Freeman in one game. We've got Sam and Freddie on our side. They've got Mike on theirs. So he'll get a chance to play catch for a moment and get limbered up. Baez had to leave because of the after effects of this play at second base.
Nose first into the left knee of Ozzie Albies.
No balls and a strike for Ender. And skips up to the plate. Raised foul as we approach 2 o'clock Central Time. Both the Braves and Cubs will race to O'Hare Airport after the game. The Cubs go to play the Pirates. The Braves come home to play Texas tomorrow night. A 3-game series with the Rangers. The 1-2 pitch. He is rolled slowly towards second. Ender is not getting down the line very quickly at all.
No.
Not 1 but 2 foot problems for the Braves center fielder. He's trying to grind it out here in game 4, but he's now 0 for 2. And here's Ozzie. Another hit, another run for the Braves' young second baseman. He continues to impress. Hitting .294 now. Fouled away at the plate. No balls and a strike. Interesting contrast in pitching styles today as opposed to when John Lackey pitched for the Cubs 2 games ago. He got a ton of flyouts because the wind was blowing in. There's a shot towards short. Freeman's first chance. Loads up and gets his man. That's the 6th ground ball out for Mike Montgomery with the wind blowing out today. 1-1 game. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Braves home screen icons and app features as well as game day live game video highlights. Radio broadcast, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Just how we scripted it. Wind blowing out. We got a 1-1 game. We're in Chicago. And that's Fried back to work with Rene Rivera, the Chicago catcher, whose first homer as a Cub was a grand slam against Lucas Sims in the second inning yesterday. In the air to right. Markakis will gather that in for the first out.
Good fastball. It was a 90, but it was in a good spot.
So here's Mike Montgomery. As Joe mentioned in our opening comments, Montgomery with a home run this year that came against the Braves at SunTrust Park. It was hit against R.A. Dickey.
He also has a double. 4 hits in all.
For a team that won the World Series, this was a big time under the radar acquisition by the Cubs last year. Cubs got him July 20th from Seattle for Dan Vogelbach and pitcher Paul Blackburn. He really helped solidify the Cubs bullpen. He made 5 starts for them, 1-1 with a sub-3 ERA last season. And he's pitched so well now. The Cubs have the luxury down the stretch of going with a 6-man starting rotation. We don't know if Montgomery will be one of their 4, assuming they get to postseason play. But what a weapon he'll be in the bullpen.
That's kind of what the way it's worked out. With Lester getting hurt, they moved him back into the rotation, and he's pitched real well. The luxury is that in September, when you have all these call-ups and they've added to their bullpen, they've got a ton of right-handers, only 2 lefties, but they've got a lot of help down there. So why not leave him in the rotation?
And because he's stretched out, and Zobrist bats, and hits one towards short and past Dansby for a hit. As you've said a zillion times, a base runner is a rally in postseason play. If any of the Cubs starters get in trouble, Joe Maddon could bring Montgomery in and have him pitch 2 or 3 innings of relief and hope his offense gets the lead back. Center cut, Zobrist didn't miss it.
Here's another guy the Braves have handled pretty well at the top of the order this whole series. That's only his 2nd hit. He's 2 for 13. They've done a good job of keeping him off the bases.
Line and caught at second. A couple of missiles hit to the Atlanta middle infielders. One by Bryant, one by Almora. We go to the 4th.
Not to rest it. Like, I need to just stop.
There's a 0% chance that will ever happen. I will be in there every single day until October 1st, and then I'll see you guys next year.
Got to respect the fact that Freddie wants to play every day, but Kelsey, you have to wonder if he's doing any further damage by continuing to play at less than 100% with a critical function of his swing.
Yeah, Dr. Laurie told him that he did want him to take the day off today, and as you heard Freddie in his comments there, he said,
base hit to right. Freddie with a sore wrist is going to be 2 for 2. A single and a double snaps the 8-in-a-row stretch retired by Montgomery. Go ahead, Kelsey.
he said that that first off day will be October 2nd for him, but he is going to get it looked at tomorrow. But the one thing, Chip, that he continuously reiterated to us is that there is no pain. And if he had pain, it could be a different situation. But he did say he was probably at about 65% strength, and he just can't do what he wants to do on a consistent basis. But you can see it here today, 2 for 2. He can still play well, but he just said he doesn't know how well he can do it on a consistent basis.
Well, maybe he's got the old rope-a-dope working today.
Yeah, he does.
Maybe Montgomery read that and said, oh, this could be an easy out. Well, Freddie's 2 for 2. Here's Matt Kemp, a sac fly his first time up. And he drives one into right field for Jason Hayward, who backpedals and sets up. Freddie tags. Here comes the throw to third. It's off target. And Kemp with a productive out gets Freeman to third base with one out.
That was a one-on-one challenge is what that was. Best of friends. I'm going to tag and go to third. Give me your best shot. And Jason wanted so badly to throw him out. Didn't have to worry about hitting a cutoff man, a relay man, nothing. Just airmail it.
That's got to be fun as an outfielder, isn't it, when you get a chance to show off your arm like that?
Sure. As long as you've been practicing and are more accurate.
So the infield comes in for the Cubs. Nick Markakis the batter. Nick hit a one-hop rocket at Rizzo his first time up. That ended the Braves' first. They crowd him with ball one. Another big crowd at Wrigley Field. A gorgeous September afternoon. The pitch is lifted out of play, and that's hit it for the seats. 2 balls and a strike.
There's another one of those 90 fastballs. Montgomery and Fried not a whole lot unlike one another in that they're low 90s with their fastball, good curveball. 3 straight fastballs to Nick, and even on a 2-0 count, he was tardy on it.
Two balls and a strike. Bryant, Freeman, Zobrist, and Rizzo, the Cubs infielders, playing in early in the game.
Got a strike to play with here if he wants. If he wants to look for that curveball. This guy's really good with runners in scoring position because he's got such good command.
Baseball hitting only 178 against Montgomery with runners at second or third base. Now the 3-1 pitch. And at the knees, full count.
And maybe Nick was looking for a secondary pitch and took the fastball. No harm done. He's got another one to take advantage of if he can. Here are those numbers. Situational averages, all very good for Mike Montgomery.
Markakis pops one down the third base line, but that'll be foul. And again, full
He
count.
finally threw the curveball, but it was 3-2.
Terrific year for Markakis, has racked up 141 hits for the Braves this year, second highest total on the team to Ender's 175. And foul back, full count. Nick plays a corner position, doesn't hit for a lot of power, but hits for a high average and drives in big runs. A .296 hitter this year with runners in scoring position. And even better with less than 2 outs at .333. Just took a walk. First and third for Atlanta with Dansby Swanson coming up.
And just 2 walks in his last 23 innings over his last 3 starts plus this one.
Dansby rolled out to third his first time up. A double, a flyout, and a walk has Braves runners at the corners. 4th inning. The pitch is outside. Ball 1. Boring in on Dansby's hands and feet, and he fouled it off at the plate. Even count.
The good thing about this run that Swanson's been on has been his ability to use the whole field. Turned on a pitch beautifully yesterday and hooked it down into the left field corner.
Huge hole on the right side with Zobrist playing up the middle. The pitch is smoked into left field. A base hit that brings home Freeman. So an RBI single for Dansby Swanson gives him 43 of those. Markakis stops at second, and the Braves are back in front.
Looked like another mistake from Montgomery. Breaking ball. You throw that breaking ball to right-handers, you better bury it in their back foot because they get such a good look at it, like Albies did when he got the first inning going with 1 out. Able to flare it to right. Dansby hit it hard to left.
So Montgomery, who gave up 1 run in 7 innings in his last start, has given up 2 runs in the first 3 1/3 today to the Braves, and he trails 2-1. And now a shot into left field, and base hit. Freeman broke towards second base, streaking around third and scoring standing up is Nick Markakis. Rio Ruiz jumps on the first pitch he sees and brings home Nick, and Atlanta leads 3-1. That worked out perfectly.
Yeah, Freeman, where was he going? Remember the other day we were talking about a couple of days ago, it looked like Swanson got a late jump on a ball when they were in a shift and didn't see the ball off the bat right away.
So 2 across in the 4th inning. David Freitas, the catcher, bounced out his first time up. And a bouncer hit towards second. The flip to Freeman for 1, on to first 2, and that'll end the inning. 2 runs, 3 hits. A walk to Nick Markakis cashed in for good measure. Max Fried leads the game now 3-1 in the 4th.
On Fox Sports South is presented by your local Hyundai dealers.
Great day in Chicago so far. 3-1 Atlanta now as we head to the Cubs half of the fourth inning. Max Fried going through the Chicago lineup for a second time. He's given up a run, a couple of hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And now the Braves offense has given him a lead before a packed house at the corner of Clark and Addison.
So far so good. Line drive atom balls, that's fine. 3 comebackers. And only 1 misplaced fastball.
He'll face Bryant, Rizzo, and then Freeman for Chicago. Javier Baez had to leave the game after colliding with Ozzie Albies after being picked off after the Cubs' second. Up and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Bryant's reached base in 27 consecutive starts for the Cubs. Get it.
I saw Max in the hotel this morning before we came to the ballpark, and he said he had about 10 folks coming out from California to watch this start today.
Two-1. He's off the plate. Well, they've given him and his friends and family San Diego weather. That's safe to say. Rizzo next. Leadoff walk to Bryant. Rizzo struck out on an inside curveball that, as you said, didn't appear to be a strike. We'll see how the Braves attack the Cubs first baseman here. He represents the tying run.
Leadoff walks and leadoff hit batters. Very costly yesterday to both teams. Rizzo apparently didn't like that call. But Max is doing a good job so far of keeping the ball down, and the pitches to Bryant, while close, might have been a little below the zone.
Right off his hands and back to the screen. 0-2.
See, there's a little extra. 93 on that one.
A very big lead by Bryant at first, not surprisingly, after a pickoff already. And the pitch is bounced to the left side. Leo fires to second for 1, and they throw to first in time, a double play. Tell you what, the young guys are doing it again today. Fried on the mound, Ruiz, Swanson, Albies up the middle.
And Dansby's not used to having to turn that double play like a second baseman. But in the shift, he has to. Bryant may have gotten a piece of him.
A 5-6-3 double play. And here's Mike Freeman, the man who took over for Baez. He was designated for assignment by the Dodgers and then signed a minor league deal with the Cubs when LA acquired Yu Darvish. Freeman hit .273 for Iowa. That's the Cubs AAA club. And he's 0 for his last 31 as a major league hitter.
That's a drought.
31 spans 18 major league games. One ball, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Didn't get the hook. That's 3 strikeouts for Fried, who's through 4 innings with a 2-run lead. And he's set to lead off the Atlanta 5th. Kid's pitching great. Williams painting the corners feature. Battle of left-handers, Fried versus Montgomery. And so far, Max in his first major league start has been excellent. He is pitching against this potent Cub lineup.
Doubled up on that hook on Freeman.
He'll lead off for Atlanta, as we said, the product of Harvard-Westlake School. Brennan Bosch, former Detroit Tiger and alum. Lucas Giolito, Josh Satin, Nick Turley, a couple of other Harvard-Westlake alums, as is Max Fried.
He and Giolito were teammates.
2-0 pitch.
I can't believe he made us wait till he came up again.
That's what we call a tease.
What's that all about?
Keep the audience, man.
Is that like the only nugget you've got all day and you better save it?
Pretty much. Didn't write down all my ad-libs today. The synapses aren't firing as strongly as usual.
Yeah, you come back to Chicago, that's understandable.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Max Fried. Little roller that's bouncing foul. Chris Bryant picks it up. And Max will head back to the plate.
I got a nugget for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of a gold nugget. Today's the last day for Gary Lehman, our director. There's a whole month to go in the season. Gary's calling a season today.
Yep.
Getting ready for NBA, which starts in what, 2 months?
November.
Yeah, you gotta have a build up for that. Gotta rest up for it.
What's Gary going to do with all the spare time, you think?
Probably shop. He's a big shopper.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball hit toward Freeman at short. Tricky hop, bobbled it. Long throw and safe.
That'll be an E6. Max puts it in play. Reaches and gets the inning started in a good way.
Remember, the Cubs already burned their challenge, so they can't appeal that play at first base. So an excellent start to the 5th inning. Fried's aboard in front of Ender Inciarte. So Gary's a big shopper, you say?
Yeah. Yeah. He's been pretty much all over that water tower place for the last 4 days.
Yeah, I did notice that the hotel has those big luggage carts. You know, and they have the coverings on the luggage carts.
Right.
Of course, the 0-1 pitch. I think that was invented so the husbands couldn't see what the wives usually buy when they're shopping on Michigan Avenue.
Okay.
When they come to Chicago for the weekend. One of those carts was parked outside Gary's room for a long time earlier this morning.
Well, the last 3 days he's had one of those carts at his disposal, and he just went floor by floor at the water tower place.
High fly ball to right. Hayward going back. He's in the middle of the warning track, and he'll have room. And Ender can't believe he didn't get it out of the park. So Inciarte is 0 for 3. Deep drive to right retires him. That brings up Ozzie Albies, our Georgia lottery feature.
Last 15 games hitting over 400. Doing what he's supposed to do, and that is get on base and score runs. Almost a run per game. He has a little flare to right field for a base hit today, and then hit a smoked one hopper to short his last time up.
A bunt. Montgomery better hurry. Loads up and got him. Bang bang play. Great try. Excellent play by Montgomery to handle the bunt. But Fried to second with 2 outs.
A little too far from the line. Make it a base hit or make it foul.
That was scored a sacrifice.
Well, he's fortunate.
He was trying to bunt for a hit, but he'll take that. And now Freeman, the batter, sore wrist and all. Freddie is 2 for 2 in his 1,000th major league game today. Nice milestone for Freeman. He went over the 1,000 hit mark earlier this year. Fly ball center. Almora broke back, but now measures it up and makes the play with a chest high catch. Nothing doing in the Atlanta 5th.
Is sponsored by your local Ford dealer and the Georgia Lottery.
3-1 Atlanta as we head to the home half of the 5th inning. Max Fried is halfway through his first major league start. As an Atlanta Brave, your Ford Keys, breathe and enjoy the moment. I Yes, so far he's doing both of those things pretty well.
I'd say so. He's only thrown 45 pitches, no more than 15 in any one inning. Very economical. Some good defense behind him. That's the whole idea. Make him put it in play.
So the first man to face him in the 5th inning is the man that took him deep last time up. That's Ian Happ, a Chicago left fielder who's hit 21 home runs, and this one was a no-doubter.
Very deep into the seats in that center cut fastball.
So let's see if Max can exact some revenge here. Happ, Hayward, and Rivera, the first 3 for Chicago. 3-1, Braves lead it. We're in game 4. Pitch is poked toward left field. Kemp is coming on, can't get there. It pops out of his glove. Happ slams on the brakes as Swanson went out to back up that play. And a leadoff single for Happ starts the Chicago 5th.
Nice effort by Matt, and a good play to keep it in front of him and actually give Dansby a chance to come get it. Highlight flip. Got leather on it, kept it from getting past him.
Jason Hayward bounced back to the mound his first time up. Home runs, 48 knocked in. Hayward had 2 hits, 2 RBIs yesterday. Runs a 5-game hitting streak. Broken bat. Barrel ends up in the stands. Fried fires wide of second. What a play by Swanson to keep a toe hold on the second base bag. What an incredible play by the Braves shortstop.
Remember now, Fried almost on that first comebacker almost threw it over Freddie Freeman's head. Spin and a throw, and a nice job by Dansby to get the out.
Looks like everybody in the stands is okay as the barrel of that bat went pinwheeling over the Braves on deck circle and into the first several rows of seats. So the Braves get the force out at second. Hayward reaches with 1 away. Rene Rivera the batter. Nothing in 1. John Jay is on deck. Montgomery, the pitcher's spot, is due next. Fried would love to get another double play ball and send the game to the 6th. Oh, 2.
Some nice sinking action on that pitch.
Fried ready now. Here it comes, and upstairs. Joe, he pitches from the extreme third base side of the pitching rubber as a right-hand hitter. How does that affect the way Rivera sees the ball? What does that do for Fried?
From a right-handed hitter's standpoint, I would think that it would be advantageous because he can see the ball out of his hand a little better. And from the first base side,
foul away.
Good hook again. Just trying to create a better angle. Maybe he has trouble on his glove side, which is the right side of home plate as he's looking at it. And just wants to create a better angle, trying to cut into that inside part.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Hayward a short lead at first. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string, and Rivera didn't get it.
See, I love what he's doing. He's mixing up his deliveries to the plate. He's got a real slow leg kick. And this was a slide step changeup. So he basically kind of rushed and jumped at the plate, then threw a changeup and really threw off the timing of Rivera. Great job.
Are we sure this is his first major league start? Because he isn't pitching like a wide-eyed rookie in this park and against this team. One more out to get as John Jay stands in. Jay has 5 hits in the series. Four of them came in game 1. No swing. Dylan Maples is up and throwing in the Cubs bullpen. Here's September call-ups. Ball 2.
John Jay had a good night the other night against Sean Newcomb. And he was just sitting on the fastball. Wound up with a 4-hit game overall. See if he gets a green light here. 3-0.
Three balls, no strikes, and a walk. And back to the top of the order in Zobrist. That's about the only blemish for Max so far today. He's got 3 walks. A leadoff walk, a 1-out walk, and now a 2-out walk. So he scattered him around.
Hernandez will go out and have a word with him. Maybe let him catch his breath a little bit after he was on the bases in the top of the inning.
So Mike Montgomery gave up 3 runs in his 5 innings today. A walk and a strikeout. Braves have 5 hits. Remember, there's a man that was 3-0 with a sub-1 ERA over his last 3 starts. The Braves touched him for 3 runs. 64 pitches in his 5 innings. So he too was efficient. Dan Winkler is up in the Atlanta pen just in case. Fried's got to get through this inning to qualify for the victory. He's an out away, 2 on, however, 2 outs, and Zobrist in the box.
Just a trip to let him reset. This guy likes to get after pitches early in the count, runners on.
Inside corner strike.
I love it. Had a little trouble with a couple of breaking pitches to John Jay. Missed with a breaking ball to Zobrist. Came right back with it for a strike.
1-1 pitch.
His fastball misses have been good misses, with one exception, and that was to Happ.
Two-1. Chopped foul at the plate. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 count coming for Zobrist, a 2-run Braves game. Freed off the mound for a moment. Another little deep breath. Big pitch. And here it is. Ground ball off his glove. Dansby recovers, but there'll be no play. Tough break.
Yeah, that's too bad.
He lets it go. Inning's probably over. Instead, Zobrist chops one and loads him up for Albert Almora.
Just barely out of his reach. He lets it go. Dansby's right there. Some good third base coaching over there by Gary Jones, making sure Jason Hayward didn't round third too far because Dansby was ready to pick him off.
Almora hit a line drive to second his last time up. He's also bounced back to the mound. Bases loaded.
It's on the first pitch too.
Driven foul. And into the seat, strike one. As you said before, a little extra on that fastball from Fried. He muscled up to 94, and Almora was late. No balls, 1 strike. Ground ball right side. Freeman fires to second, and that will retire the side. That's how the inning began, with a great play at second. Freeman retires Zobrist, and the Braves maintain the lead.
Since we've been at Wrigley Field, we've told you about the bullpens that were added this season. We've told you about the ivy that is a staple here to Wrigley, but you can't come to Wrigley Field and not talk about the rooftops in Wrigleyville. So I'm on top of one of 11 rooftops right now. They all have different looks, different amenities, but the one thing is the same, the unique vantage point of the ballpark that you get. So I'm about 470 feet from home plate right now, Chip and Joe, but these rooftops are definitely one of the reasons that makes Wrigley Field one of the best atmospheres in baseball, and definitely a bucket list item for any baseball fan.
That is a unmistakable part of the experience at Wrigley Field. You see the one that's labeled Beyond the Ivy? When I got here in 1998, that building wasn't here. There was a pink A-frame house that sat on that piece of real estate, and rumor has it that that piece of property was purchased for about $800,000, and they spent $3 million to build that building, which has 3 levels and apartments down below with the rooftop seats all the way upstairs, of course. And that was one of the first ones that really started the rooftop craze here at the ballpark. Back in the day, it was $200 per ticket. All you can eat, all you can drink. As this one's bounced toward third, Bryant gloves, knocks it down, and makes the play. Goes out number one.
This is Dylan Maples on the mound. His first big league appearance. Started in A ball, worked his way all the way through this year. You noticed 100 strikeouts in 63 in the third innings. That will catch your eye.
Yes, it will. He's from Braves country, from Pinecrest High School in Southern Pines, North Carolina, a 14th round pick. In the 2011 draft, he was the Gatorade North Carolina High School Player of the Year in 2011. And here he is with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. That will also catch your attention. One ball, one strike. Maples had his share of starting assignments in the Cubs organization until the 2014 year, when he was moved into the bullpen in 2015. Breaking ball, one ball, two strikes.
It's pretty easy gas too. He's not having to use everything he has just to rush it up there.
The man's 25 years old. He's got his first big league out. Now he's going to have his second. Zoltis makes a clean play, and he did. 2 away. Here's Dansby. One of the biggest plays in this game may go unnoticed. It won't to us. It was the play that started the Cubs' 5th inning. After Happ reached for the single, Hayward broke his bat, bounced to the mound, freed through wide of second base, and Dansby saved him a throwing error. And maybe a big inning with a diving grab for the forced play at second base.
Turned out to be a huge out. A good throw makes it a double play ball and shortens the inning too.
Dansby has an RBI hit. 9 hits on the road trip. And batting .236 for the year. Maples listed 6'2", 205 pounds. And taken high, 3-1 your count.
It is a good slider, a hard slider at 86. And I'm guessing where he was pitching at the end of ball games in the minor leagues, all he needed was a fastball slider, especially at 100.
And he just walked Dansby, who's aboard for a second time. Well, Maples has made a quick jump. He's pitched at Single-A Myrtle Beach, Double-A Tennessee, Iowa, and now with the Cubs. And Rio Ruiz, the batter, he swung at the first pitch he saw in the 4th inning and singled home Nick Markakis. There is action in the Braves bullpen. A.J. Minter is up. Runner aboard, 2 outs for Rio. He picked up his 11th RBI today.
Really giving Dansby much of a look over there at first base. Might be able to get a good jump on him.
And now Rivera out for a visit as Maples turns his back and walks to the rubber. Got the first 2 outs pretty quickly, having trouble throwing strikes all of a sudden. And all help appreciated for the Braves, who enjoy a 3-1 lead. Two and two. Swing and a miss. That's his first major league strikeout. Maples gives up a walk. Nothing else in the 6th. 3-1 Atlanta the lead. Major league start. He'll be taken down after 5 innings of 1-run ball. And no more than 18 pitches in any innings, in any of the innings he worked today. Very impressive. And he's got a chance to win if the Braves bullpen can hold what's now a 3-1 lead.
Very sharp. I know he walked 3 guys, but he's keeping the ball down all day. That's what I liked. He didn't let his adrenaline and everything kind of overwhelm what he was trying to do. That was a good sign. A.J. Minter's 5th game. No walks, 3 strikeouts. No walks would be a good idea here this inning when the heart of their order's up.
It starts with Bryant, then Rizzo, then Freeman. Remember, Javier Baez had to come out of the game after 2 at-bats. Excuse me, after 1 at-bat in 2 innings. So Bryant 0 for 1 with a walk. And Minter's first is up and away. Braves bullpen gave up 7 runs in 5 innings of work yesterday. Can't afford that today. Neither bullpen distinguished itself, as we saw 13 total pitchers in game 3. And of those 13, only 4 escaped without giving up at least 1 run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big crowd today, 42,145.
Not counting Kelsey and her friends over there on the rooftop.
That's right. And not counted in the turnstile tally. Pitch. Got the call. Bryant didn't think so. That changes things. Instead of a 3-1 count, now it's 2-2.
Little backdoor pitch. 90 miles an hour, maybe just a little cutter spin that got it in there.
To left. Swanson out, Kemp in. Matt's there with the glasses gleaming, and Bryant's retired with the first out.
Bragging on Max Fried. David Freitas behind the plate's done a nice job too. Called up when Tyler Flowers went on the disabled list. Braves have added Tony Sanchez in the deal that sent Brandon Phillips to the Angels, so they've got 3 catchers working.
Here's Rizzo. He's right on top of the plate and takes ball 1. Rizzo is struck out and hit into a double play. Pretty pitch right at the knees.
Yeah.
Tell you what, Fried's done a good job of that too. I mean, this lineup, wind blowing out, put the ball down. Excellent work to this point. Wind blowing right at the Cubs dugout. They're starting the day blowing out. 1-1 pitch. So didn't get it.
2 good pitches. Fastballs with something on them, out away from him. More outside corner than outside third.
And Rizzo is down on strikes.
See, that was a great sequence from a young pitcher against a tough out. We're talking about how he crowds the plate, Rizzo, and he wants the ball inside. And A.J. Minter just pounded his fastball away. This one a little bit out of the strike zone and made him go after it.
Freitas didn't have to move the glove. That was pretty. So here's Freeman. He took over for Baez at shortstop. He's had 1 at bat. He struck out. And he's 0 for his last 32.
Yeah, he's had a rough day already. He broke the wrong way on a ground ball base hit. Bobbled a ground ball hit by the pitcher for an error. And struck out.
No balls, 2 strikes. From A.J. Minter, here it is. And a swing, and it just popped out of the glove. Freitas, tough break. He had him struck out. Braves will have the bottom part of the order coming up in the 7th. They lead at 3-1.
The Braves liked A.J. Minter so much that when they drafted him, they knew he was coming back from Tommy John surgery. That was while he was at Texas A&M. And yet they still took him with the 75th pick in the draft. He did not pitch at all that first year he was drafted, did not start pitching again until last year at Rome, professionally.
That surgery, which was so revolutionary 40 years ago or so, you're now almost surprised when you hear it not work. An injury like that was always a big red flag. Uh-oh, this guy's hurt. He can't take that risk. Well, this medical technology and that surgery has gotten performed more and more effectively. A lot less risk. As he went around, they got the call at third base, and Freeman is caught looking, and Minter strikes out 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. 8-9-1 coming up for Atlanta.
Ten in a row for them, 9 in a row for the Diamondbacks.
Is Justin Grimm, the pride of the University of Georgia, a former 5th-round pick by the Rangers in 2010.
It would be great if the Cubs.
To right, Hayward checks out the wall and won't have a play.
Wouldn't it be great if Michael Barrett was still catching for the Cubs and they would have Grimm and Barrett?
I love it. I'm sure Michael would be all ready for that. Grimm came from Texas for Matt Garza. That was in July of 2013. He's just back from the DL. He had a right index finger infection. Swing and miss to Freitas, 0-2.
Fastball slider. 93 to 95 fastball.
He's been up and down with the Cubs 4 separate times in 2017. 2 years after he was drafted out of Georgia, he was in the big leagues with Texas. He was a starting pitcher with the Rangers. He's been exclusively a pensman with the Cubs. 1-2. He is rolled towards short. Freeman's got it. Catcher running. And he makes the play. 1 out. Matt Adams will get a chance to swing the bat. Fried and Minter, 6 innings of 1-run ball. Minter with a couple of strikeouts. So Adams in the 7th. and a strike.
Matt was having fun today in batting practice, peppering the bleachers in right field.
Well, he has 3 pinch hits as a Brave. 2 of them are homers. He has 8 pinch hit RBIs with the Braves, 11 overall. Some of that work came with the Cardinals when he was in St. Louis. He hit a home run at SunTrust Park as a member of the St. Louis club. And he's in a 1-2 hole with 1 out, bases empty, 7th inning. 3-1, Braves lead game 4 of the series. Strike 3, couldn't pull the trigger, then pitch at the knees. And Grimm has his first strikeout.
Looked like the perfect pitcher's pitch. At the knees and on the black.
So back to the top ender, Inciarte, who's 0 for 3. Bounced up there, ball 1. Milwaukee leads Washington 5-0 after 6. The Brewers trying to pick up a game on the Cubs if the Braves can win this game. They lead in the Central, 4.5 for Chicago at the moment. They've got a big series coming up here next weekend. Head to head with Milwaukee. The pitch and away, ball 2. Reds are losing in Pittsburgh 3-0. That game's through 8. Brian Price, the manager of the Reds, had his contract option picked up for next year. They let him know on September 3rd that he'll be back. Let's continue their rebuild. Pitch on a corner. Arizona's beating Colorado again. It's 1-0. That game in the bottom of the 3rd inning in Denver.
Tell you what, if nothing else, Milwaukee's gaining ground on the Rockies.
They're a game and a half behind them for the second wild card.
Yeah.
Arizona, another red hot team. Diamondbacks have won 9 straight. They've got Zach Godley pitching for them in Denver today. Three balls and a strike. Ender's aboard with a 2-out walk. And that'll bring up Ozzie Albies. Phillies 1, Marlins 1. That game's through 9 innings down in Miami.
See where Stanton hit that home run last night? Over the lovely sculpture in center to the left side of you, where those flags are kind of staircased up it. Way back up in there in a storage closet.
See the MVP of the league?
I don't know. We had that chat.
52 homers.
They make the postseason. He's going to get a lot of sway away from Nolan Arenado.
5 out in the wild card with 3 teams to pass. 1 ball, no strikes. Ozzie's had a very impressive series against Chicago. He's 6 for 12. He's knocked in a couple of runs. He scored 3 times. Made all the plays at second base. Runner goes. Pitch is high. Rivera's throw is on the money and in time. What a throw. That's why they got Rivera. Excellent catch and throw receiver. He guns down Ender Inciarte to send us to the 7th inning stretch at Wrigley Field. Atlanta 3, Cubs 1. Bang bang play at second goes Chicago's way. And let's see, are the Braves going to check this one out on review?
I don't think he ever got to the bag until it was too late.
So there will be no challenge. 7th inning stretch. Braves lead late.
Fan. My parents took my sister and I to a lot of games. And it kind of just became a yearly thing. I spent my 16th birthday at the Braves Stadium with the Braves. And I had a big sign. They put me up on the Jumbotron. Now that my husband and I have 3 girls, we have continued to do that with them. We've taken them since they were very, very small. I have pictures of them at the Braves games just kind of as babies, taking in the game, and now it's become a really big part of our family, and we're just really looking forward to continuing this tradition with our girls.
Braves baseball, always a family affair at Atlanta, across the Southeast, and even here in Chicago, where a good number have turned out for Game 4 on a beautiful September Sunday.
Well, you got your wish. You got another Freeman.
That's it. Might be a major league record. 3 of them in today's game. This time it's Sam on the mound, and his first one all the way to the backstop. This sets up the way the Braves, I think, would like it, the way the bullpen's gone. You've got Freeman, Ramirez, and Vizcaino in play over the final 3 innings.
3rd straight lefty. He worked a couple of days ago, a 1/3 of an inning, gave up a hit, but nothing else.
Driven foul by Ian Happ. Happ's 2 for 2. A homer and a single.
This guy does not get cheated.
Happ will be headed home after the game as the Cubs go to Pittsburgh. That's where Ian's from. A squibber hit towards second. Ozzy's got it. Happ is out number 1.
Nicely done by Sam. Took a little off. 87 right off the end of the bat. He was up a little bit, but the speed made the difference.
Jason Hayward 0 for 2. He hits with the bases empty in the 7th. Time requested by Freitas.
You didn't see the game yesterday. Jason hit a laser into those seats above the well in right field.
It had to leave a mark someplace.
Yeah. Well, it was a pitch right in his wheelhouse. He likes the ball away from him, and he got something out over the plate, up a little bit.
Ball 2. Rivera then the pitcher's spot for Chicago. Braves 3, Cubs 1. Knee-high strike. In a season that's been full of surprises, some pleasant, some not so, I think Sam Freeman's been a very pleasant discovery for the Braves. 48 games, a sub-3 ERA, good control. Doesn't walk many people. He's been a very dependable and reliable component for a Braves bullpen that's seen a lot of faces rotate in and out.
He's been terrific and had some major league experience when the Braves got him, so that certainly helped.
Nice catch. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Good pitch. He'd taken that pitch for a strike twice. Spoiled that one.
Eighth pitch of the at bat. And good battle here for Jason Hayward and the Cubs in the 7th.
He's had a good series, 3 for 9 with that homer, and had come into the series a little cool. He had a series against Pittsburgh that wasn't as good.
Line drive into center field. That is a big league at bat. Got to tip your cap to Hayward in that sequence. And he brings the tying run to the plate.
Well, as you talked about the other day, Chip, he's got a pretty good average against left-handers. And you're right, that was a very good at bat.
Jason entered play today, hitting .282 against lefties. Rivera the hitter, Kyle Schwarber's on deck. Good start, strike 1. Hector Rondon is warming up in the Cubs pen as Freeman steps off. Good fastball. 0-2.
Very good. Had a little late life on it too.
Nice play by Freitas to save that one from going to the backstop. And the count to Rivera, ball and 2 strikes.
Max Fried struck him out on a fastball his last time up. Defense pretty much straight away for him.
Swing and a miss.
Took a little off, kept that one down. Same thing he did to Happ, only the one to Happ was a little up, so Ian was able to reach it. This one dying at the plate. What a pitch.
So Schwarber gets a big ovation. He'll come on, representing the tying run. I'll tell you what, to this point, for the Braves, who needed a well-pitched game, this has been one of the best, considering the circumstances for Atlanta we've seen in a while. And the key word is they have pitched. They're not just rearing back and throwing it by people. Fried, Minter, and now Freeman trying to keep the Cubs at bay here and protect the 2-run lead. There's Rondon. He's going to be the next Cub pitcher. 1 ball, no strikes.
Breaking ball got him to give up on it. Two good breaking balls. One in, one away. He's powerful left-handed hitter, 6 feet, 235.
One ball, 2 strikes. Good try.
Well saved. Get off the plate.
Same spot.
Wow. What patience on his part to not swing.
Now the crowd back into the game. Hayward will get a head start with a 3-2 count. Big shift on for Kyle Schwarber. The runner goes. Here it is, and it's popped up. Dansby says he's got it. He's calling everybody off. He's under it. He's there. And Freeman retires the Cubs in the 7th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the 8th inning. 3-1 Atlanta. We go to Atlanta for today's big story. Which is 1 out of 4 against the Cubs. A little insurance wouldn't hurt on a breezy day at the ballpark. Hector Rondon will become the 4th Cubs pitcher to work today. And he'll have Albies, Freeman, and Matt Kemp coming up.
He was one of the few guys that turned in a good performance yesterday. He gave up a hit in the 6th inning, but he struck out the side after that. That base hit came to Swanson.
So Rondon, a former closer for the Cubs, now setting up things for Joe Madden. Again, a lot of interchangeable parts, not just with their everyday players, but with this Chicago pitching staff. So Ozzie Albies will lead off. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored and a sacrifice. And Rondon turns it loose and missed. Turn in. Ball 1. That's hit to second. And Zobrist scoops and fires and gets his man 1 out. Freddie Freeman playing in his 1,000th Major League game today. Has a couple of hits. He scored one of the Braves' 3 runs.
I'm going to go ahead and go whole hog on the shift. Freeman now being moved a little to his right at shortstop.
Fly ball left. And Happ is there. Battles the wind, makes the one-handed grab. See, that shift against Freeman makes a lot more sense to me than most of the other ones we see. Freddie has said a zillion times his goal is to hit the ball over where the shortstop would play every single time. That's where that ball was headed. If it had been on the ground, it would have been right at the other Freeman. But when we see teams play that lone man almost behind the second base bag, that gives him a perfect lane to swing the bat.
Agreed. Some of these shifts are a little too overblown to me. And if you ask the pitchers, probably to them too.
So Matt Kemp bats, 2 outs, bases empty. Drove in the first run with a first inning sacrifice fly. His 55th RBI on the year. And outside for an even count. Cubs will have the top of their order coming up in the 8th inning. Jose Ramirez likely will be the next Atlanta pitcher. Just missed. Those are the new bullpens that Kelsey told you about during one of her reports in the series. Located under the left and right field bleachers here. Just missed. 3-1. One-way glass. Players can see out, fans can't see in. That used to be where the old batting cage was here at Wrigley Field. They didn't have a place for the players to hit during games, but before the games when they had to do some cage work, that's where they'd go. Out away. As Joe mentioned earlier in the series, that's changed, at least for the visitor side, and I'm assuming on the home side too. Brand new batting cage.
Under the stands. That's a big and welcome addition. You have to walk out to right field, go take some swings on it before the game, or if it's raining.
The 3-2 pitch is caught on and missed. And Rondon comes back from a 3-1 count to strike out Matt Kemp. We're through 7.5 innings in Chicago. The Braves lead it 3-1. refreshing than a well-pitched game, something the Braves haven't seen a lot of or enough of over their last 40 games. Those are your cold hard facts, brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light.
And need 2 more innings for this would be a win for rookie Max Fried, but the last 40 games quite ugly, as you saw, near the bottom in all 30 teams in several different categories. Jose Ramirez has run into some tough times command-wise. His last 2 outings, game 2 of the doubleheader at Philadelphia, he recorded 2 outs but walked 3 men, walked the bases loaded. Here at Chicago 3 days ago, a third of an inning, but that included a walk also in a very key moment. Can't do that today.
Not with these guys coming up. 1, 2, and 3 on the Cubs lineup card. Ben Zobrist starts it off. And he's hitting left-handed for the first time. He was 2 for 3 against Max Fried. And an excellent start, 0-2. Slow roller down the first base line. That is hugging the chalk, and Freeman got there to make sure it didn't bounce fair. And Zobrist will head back to the plate. And of course, Gary Pressey, the very talented organist here at Wrigley Field, plays Johnny Cash, I'll Walk the Line. That would hug the line, but it was foul. And it's 0-2.
He is good.
Gary's in there somewhere. Just missed. Good try, 1-2. Did he go? Yes, he did. Zobrist knew it. Check swing strikeout for the first out of the inning.
Good changeup. That's such a good pitch to left-handed hitters when he's ahead in the count. They got to be ready for 98 or 99. And that changeup in a great spot. And yes, he did.
Always good to get that leadoff man. Now Almora is the batter. He's 0 for 3. First pitch swing again. This one skied to center. And Ender is there for the second out. Lex Brothers is up in the Atlanta pen. I'm assuming in case Bryant reaches, then you go lefty-lefty with Rizzo. Let's hope that's not in the cards here. Bryant is 0 for 2 with a walk. He did reach for a 27th consecutive start with that 4th inning free pass. To this point, not much damage for Chris Bryant. He takes a strike over the outside corner. Done a number on Rizzo and Bryant today. They're combined 0 for 5. Rizzo with a couple of strikeouts and a double play.
That's the way you like it. Braves pitchers have fanned 8. Make it, yeah, 8 today. A bit of a funny swing, wouldn't you say?
Swing and a miss wouldn't be a bad thing here.
That was a backup slider.
One ball, 2 strikes. And Bryant protects the plate, skies it over the roof to the right. Raiders with the sign. Bryant awaits a 1-2 pitch. Strike three right down Clark Street. And Bryant frozen. Couple of strikeouts ends the Chicago 8th. And we go to the 9th inning. The Braves are 3 outs away from Max Fried's first big league win. There's Gary Pressey, one of the best in the business. T-Mobile. Joe, we touched on a couple of red-hot teams in Major League Baseball. The Indians, the Diamondbacks, and surprisingly Baltimore.
Yeah, how about Corey Kluber, though, since June 1? That's pretty good work. Former Cy Young Award winner. Arizona's getting production from everybody in their lineup. They're getting solid pitching. I understand Ray is going to pitch with some kind of insert in his hat now after he got nailed with a line drive. And Tim Beckham, nice pickup on their trade deadline acquisition. The Orioles are really pitching. They're shutting out a lot of people. I think they got beat last night, but they are doing a number on some people with their solid moundsmen.
Well, how about this race for the #2 wild card? Minnesota leads Los Angeles by 1.5 games. Baltimore by 2.5 games. The Yankees, the #1 wild card, they have a 1-game lead over Minnesota for that honor. So Felix Pena, the new pitcher for Chicago, is looking for a little insurance here. Up 3-1. We've reached the 9th inning.
Angels won a big game last night, coming from behind. Got a homer in the 9th, tie it, won it in the 10th at Texas.
Which will be the next Braves opponent. Sharply hit up the middle, a base hit for Markakis. Excellent start to the Atlanta 9th. Nick 1 for 3 with a run scored today. That's 5 hits in the series.
Hit a pretty good breaking ball too. Pena pitched yesterday. He's one of the guys that did not pitch well. He came in, faced 2 guys, walked them both, and they both scored.
They've scored all 3 of their runs against Mike Montgomery, the Cubs starter. 1 in the first, 2 in the fourth. Max Fried gave up a single run in the second, a half homer, and that's it. He went 5 innings. Minter, Freeman, and Ramirez have followed with scoreless innings each. Dansby Swanson's had a good day. He's made a couple of excellent plays defensively. He's knocked in a run, and he's walked. Dansby entered play today, hitting .368 since August 12th. That number will go up a bit. 1 for 2 outing to this point.
There's some chopping going on out there in the bleachers. Out there in right field. Some brave souls.
Oh boy. If you only knew. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Markakis a good lead at first. Pena ready. There it comes. And we had it covered. Foul back. It's the old chicken versus the egg argument. Does success breed confidence? Does confidence breed success? He's a different guy since he's come back from AAA. Whatever mechanical adjustments he's made, whether it's being closer to the plate, results are certainly different. The ball, Joe, sounds a lot different coming off his bat right now.
Pretty much locked in right now on the way he's swinging the bat, and he's on a lot of pitches that he wasn't on before.
Before he went down to AAA, that was an out.
Yes.
He'd have missed that ball by 6 inches.
Yes, because he wasn't trying to cover that outside part. He was more concerned and more, putting words in his mouth, but more worried about getting jammed and missing pitches in that he ought to be turning on.
And we've seen he can turn. He can turn on an inside pitch.
You gotta trust your hands.
A couple of times in this series. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Turned on that one and hammers it into the corner. That ball is deep. That ball is going to bounce fair, and that's going to be a double. I believe it bounced into the basket and then popped out. So Dansby Swanson doubles down the left field line on a 2-hit afternoon. His 20th double of the year, and the Braves are in business with second and third.
Got a pitch up, and he did turn on it. And that's a break for Pena because it bounced out of the park, saved a run momentarily. With second and third, nobody out. Stay hot.
That was our storyline at the start of the day. The Braves youngsters and the excellent job they did yesterday. It's continued today. Swanson 2 hits. Ruiz an RBI hit. Albies a single, a run scored, and Max Fried 5 innings of 1-run ball. Infield in for Chicago.
As this guy proved yesterday, his command is off. Just made a mistake to Dansby up in the zone. So if you're Rio here, be patient. You should get a good pitch to hit.
Right back where it came from, into center field. 1 run scores. Here comes Dansby around third. He will score, and the kids have come through again. A 3 RBI day for Rio Ruiz, and the Braves break the game open in the 9th.
Looked like he hit that right off the foot of Pena too. Fastball down the middle. I think he might have missed him. But with the infield drawn in, a 2 RBI knock. Big runs.
5-1 Atlanta. Freitas takes a strike. Don't discount the job this young man has done behind the plate. He doesn't have a hit. Boy, was he good working with Max Fried and Minter and Freeman and Ramirez to this point.
He's a big guy. Boy, is he a big target back there for the pitchers.
And for a man that had to wait as long as he did for his first chance to play in the major leagues, you know he's savoring this day at Wrigley Field in Chicago, perhaps as much as any of the other first-year players that are in the game for the Braves today. 0-2. It's headed to the upper deck and out of play. Freitas, originally drafted by the Nationals in 2010, was traded to Oakland for Kurt Suzuki. And for all those years in the minor leagues, he finally gets the call to the show with the Braves. 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. Curtis didn't get it. And there's the first out of the inning. And Lane Adams, who came in the flip-flop batting order, gets his first at bat. Check swing and a miss. Strike one. Braves and Rangers tomorrow night. Braves starters in order: Dickey, Tehran, and Newcomb. Texas has not yet announced its rotation.
On another service, though, this morning, it looked like it was going to be Cashner, Gonzalez, and Hamels.
Got your cowboy boots all polished up for the series?
I do.
Yeah. 10-gallon hat?
You know that's a misnomer, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of a... Yeah, but the belt buckle's ready.
Atta baby. Can't wait to see that. Pitch. A swing and a miss. Adams down on 3 pitches. And 2 are out. Back to the top of the order, and Ender Inciarte. Ender 0 for 3. His day got off to a rough start after he came up with a sore foot yesterday. He fouled the ball off his back foot in his first at bat today. If your base doesn't feel good, I'm pretty sure you're going to have swings like that.
You can't keep your feet under you. I mean, it's one foot and then the other. Today on a bunt attempt, he fouled it off his left foot. He's been coming off that back foot each at bat. Have to keep weight on it.
0-1 pitch.
No, I think you know, if you did that with Texas with boots and all that stuff, you're honoring them. Instead, I think the thing to do would be to wear a peach-colored tie tomorrow, or navy and blue.
Okay, that's
navy
fine.
and red, rather.
We can do that. Aiming for a strike. Long inning for Pena. Inciarte, the 6th Braves batter. The pitch is low.
Well, he's made his best pitches after the 3 straight hits. Some sliders to the right-handed hitters, Freitas and Lane Adams, that were pretty good. But the damage has been done.
Runner goes. The pitch is low. The throw is late. Rio Ruiz steals a base.
He was kind of hopping over there at first like he couldn't wait to take off. He was antsy. See him? Got a good jump. It's his first big league stolen base, isn't it?
Yep. It's so.
Chance for an add-on run here.
And a full count. Line out of play. Milwaukee's all over Washington today. That went 7-0 after 8, barring a miracle comeback by the Nationals. The Cubs lead will fall to 3.5 games if Atlanta can get 3 more outs. Pitch. Foul.
Brewers have some pretty good starting pitching. Led by Jimmy Nelson, Davies.
And they're going to come to Wrigley Field next weekend with a big-time chip on their shoulder. The Cubs have a 4-game series in Pittsburgh, a late-night Thursday, and they were set to play Friday afternoon. But because the Cubs are expected to get in early in the morning, they had the city ordinance changed for a day. As Ender takes a walk, City ordinance says the Cubs cannot play night games in regular season on Fridays at Wrigley Field. Well, for one day they're going to change the rules, and the Brewers are not happy about that. So that adds a little more spice to what's been a rather chippy season series so far this year. Cubs are 7-5 against them head to head.
I tend to agree with the Brewers on that. Cubs wouldn't be doing that unless it provided them a competitive advantage.
One ball, no strikes. Swing and a miss. Well, the Brewers just need a better lobbyist in the mayor's office in Chicago.
So, yeah.
Two runs on 3 hits here in the 9th inning. As we approach 4 o'clock. Fly ball well hit center. Almora going back, twisting, turning. He got there, and that retires the side. 2 big insurance runs for the Braves. Rio Ruiz drove them home. 5-1 Atlanta. Last call for the Cubs. Five-1 Atlanta. The kids were all right and better today for Atlanta.
Just a continuation really of yesterday. Ozzie just flew out to deep center, hit the ball hard 3 times again today. Dansby with 2 hits and an RBI. Ruiz add in a stolen base there last inning for his 3 RBI day. And the pitchers, Max Fried has accounted for himself real well. The only run was on a homer. He struck out 4. He's in line for the win. A.J. Minter in his 1 inning of work struck out 2. Now it's up to Arodys Vizcaíno, who will be trying to earn the win for the Braves. It is not a safe situation.
So Rizzo will start, then Tommy La Stella, because the pitcher spot is coming up second. At least I believe that's the case. No, it's Freeman. Beg your pardon. It's Freeman, the shortstop, who's 0 for his last 33. So Rizzo, La Stella, then Happ. Javier Baez had to leave the game after a collision at second base on a headfirst slide on a pickoff play. He stayed in the game briefly, but then when the Cubs were in the field defensively, he had to come out. That's when Freeman came on to relieve him. They're already without Addison Russell as well. First pitch swing, rolled foul at first. Strike 1 for Anthony Rizzo, who's been pitched today about as well as you can pitch him by the Braves staff. Rizzo 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a double play.
And went after him with that first pitch. Continue to do that. 4-run lead.
It's 0-2. Phillies just took the lead in Miami. That game continues. Free baseball at Marlins Park. Phillies now 3-1. Miami coming up for the bottom of the 11th. Here it's 5-1 Atlanta. Braves are trying to snap the Cubs' 6-game winning streak. And a bouncing ball to first. Rizzo was way off stride. Good sequence. 1 out.
4 pitches. He swung at all 4.
So it is Tommy La Stella, former Brave. Third time Tommy's come up to pinch hit in the series. He's grounded out and walked in his other 2 trips. Take a roll, ball 1. Jake Arrieta and Chad Kuhl will face off in Pittsburgh tomorrow. Arrieta's been on an incredible roll. He's pitching like he did a couple of years ago all of a sudden with the Cubs.
He would have pitched today with the Cubs still in a 5-man rotation.
Fly ball toward right. Markakis is there. Tommy La Stella's the second out. So 1 more man to get, and it's the only man that scored today for the Cubs, Ian Happ.
He will be swinging for it again, going for the gusto, much like our director Gary Lehman. Once today's game is concluded, last baseball game for him for this season. He will be in search of gusto.
So Gary, great job as always. Thanks so much for your hard work this summer. It's been a pleasure. Wish you luck with our Fox Sports crew with our coverage of the Atlanta Hawks. Swing and a miss. And yes, indeed, that was a swing with gusto.
Yes, it was.
Because there was a big gusto wind that came our way when he missed that ball by 2 feet. No balls, 2 strikes. Imagine what Max Fried is thinking right about now. Pitch. Swing and a miss. That's your ball game. The Braves have beaten the Cubs, and Max Fried has picked up the win. Atlanta picks up the victory in the final game of the year, head-to-head with the Cubs. 5-1 is your score. One of the best pitched games for the Braves in a long while. Swanson and Albies were terrific as well. Rio Ruiz with 3 RBIs. It was Kids Day at Wrigley Field, and the kids came through in terrific fashion, Joe.
Starts with Max Fried. So happy for him to win your first big league start at Wrigley Field. You'll never forget that.
And we won't either. Braves head home with a 3-4 road trip. 5-1 the final score from Chicago. A lot of great stuff to talk about on Braves Live. That's coming up right after this.